How do you sell money for money when money itself is valuable based on one commodity? Time. If you handmade leather shoes, the qualities and intricacies take more time, which equals a more expensive shoe. You earn per hour based on your labor, but most of you are trading against output plus time equals so-called productivity. The charge for this in the financial industry is called interest or usury, an innovation known to man. A borrower can use cash in the present to pay for the future. During the 4th to 8th centuries, the church banned this practice outright, for many reasons, but the turning point of interest became a norm in Europe and elsewhere was actually because of the Arabs. The Arabs were unbelievably good at arithmetic, due to the great ancestry of Al-Khwarizmi, the father of algebra, who restored broken parts of mathematics. However, this could only be achieved with the introduction of the number 0, which was borrowed from Hindu numerals, the philosophical act of achieving nothingness or giving up thyself in Vinyasi, which originated in Sanskrit, shunya, the void. This was embraced by the Arabs as a servitude to the divine. 0 was known as cipher in the Arabic language. When this concept was Latinized, 0 became widely accepted, first as Zephyrium, then Zifra, and finally 0. This ultimately transformed money into finance for the first time. Now you had negative numbers and positive numbers, which meant you can track debits and credits on a balance sheet for the first time. What algebra really did was turn time, the one commodity we couldn't measure, into a probability machine. It showed that the world had some sort of cause and effect. Time itself became measurable almost accurately alongside other variables like x, y, and z. Together they allowed you to solve for t, which was time, something you probably remember from math class. Centuries later, Islam, alongside the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, introduced Sharia law, outright banning any form of making money from money. Instead, Sharia stated that any lender should partake in the risk with the borrower. The caveat here is that the lender also shares in the downside. Later, a mathematician by the name of Fibonacci introduced 0 and algebra from Arabs into Europe. This transformed Europe's financial markets, especially amongst the merchants. Money exchanges sat on benches, al banco in Italian. With scales, weighing and swapping different grains of gold and silver coins, they charged a small service fee on top. This, plus Fibonacci's introduction, gave rise to new systems of trade. The people sitting on al banco became known as moneylenders, hence the bank. Europe was about to transform, and what was to come is the creation of money out of nothing.